Chicago, police investigating a shooting here.
And heavily armed United Nations peacekeepers operating in some of the most dangerous corners of the earth. Now there's a push to bring them here. Good evening, I'm Rob Johnson.
And I'm Erica Sargent. A Cook County commissioner wants to get the peacekeepers to Chicago to battle our violence problem.
But it would be an unusual move. Consider this from a UN promotional video. Peacekeepers often operate in hostile environments where others cannot or will not go.
CBS 2 political reporter Derek Blakely picks up our story.
They've helped stop the fighting in war-torn hotspots across the globe, from Syria to Sierra Leone. Now a Cook County commissioner is appealing for UN peacekeepers in Chicago's crime-ridden neighborhoods.
I know that there are those who say that this is an admission that we can't protect the people in the city, but quite frankly, we haven't protected them.
But one West Side alderman whose ward is plagued by violence rejects the military analogy.
This is not war. I mean, we may have some daunting statistics, but again, military intervention is not the answer.
Alderman Irvin says it's an economic intervention, not a military one, that's needed to stop Chicago's violence, jobs, and investment. And Mayor Emanuel insists progress in crime-fighting technology and community policing is reducing shootings and killings in high-crime areas like Inglewood.
For all of us that know what Inglewood has stood for before, it's different. And it's the residents saying it. It's not some social scientist saying it.
Tonight, after the meeting, Boykin said the Assistant Secretary General told him one circumstance under which he might come to Chicago.
There is a global study that the UN is working on regarding youth and violence. Once that is published, he said that he'd be delighted to receive my invitation to come and to talk about the contents of that study.
Now, according to Boykin, the Assistant Secretary General also said the U.S. mission at the UN could invite him to Chicago as well, but that is even more unlikely. And either possibility is a far cry from peacekeeping forces on Chicago streets. Nevertheless, Boykin insists that Chicago needs help, desperately needs help, and that too many Chicago officials want the public here to turn a blind eye to inner city violence. Rob and Erica, a lot of politicians believe that Boykin is simply grandstanding here, but he is betting that his constituents will see him as thinking outside the box and give him credit for doing everything he can.
Have we seen any other leaders in other cities try something like this before?
No, this is something completely unusual. I mean, completely out the box, because the UN, intervenes in hostile situations, civil wars, that kind of thing. And even applying that tag to what's going on in the streets of Chicago, of course, is something Chicago leaders do not want.
We've heard various leaders say bring in the National Guard, but we've never heard anything about the UN peacekeepers, have we?
Another step. Another step.
All right. Thanks, Derek.
Okay, so let's see who Richard Boykin is. Let's see. County Board Commissioner of the 1st District. What the heck is that? Who dresses this man? See his little purple, blue, pink, red. Kind of an off red and off blue, don't you think? Just kind of a weird mixture there, Ty. And he's got this little button here. So I was curious to see what that was. So I blew it up. Let's see if I can show you. That's the button on his little lapel there. And this is a pentagram inside of a circle. This says United States of America. Some kind of weird looking... That's not an eagle, that's that Sphinx thing. Is that the name I'm thinking of? Oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about. But that is a pentagram inside a circle. Pentagram represents Satan, Baphomet, Goda Mendez, as above, so below. 6-pointed star, representation of Lucifer. And the circle represents eternity, infinity. Lucifer forever. Satan forever. That's basically what that symbol is. Okay, so let's see what Cook County is. Cook County is a county in the United States of Illinois, in the state of Illinois. It is the second most populous county in the United States after Los Angeles County in California. As of 2015, the population was 5,238,000 and some change. Its county seat is Chicago, the largest city in Illinois, and third most populous city in the United States. More than 40% of all residents of Illinois live in Cook County. So let's take you over here and show you the map of Cook County, which is pretty much, folks, all of Chicago. Pretty much covers all of it. Rosemont's up here. Rosemont's about 10 miles northwest of Chicago, somewhere up here. Look, almost the entire eastern part of the state. Up here's Milwaukee. It's Kenosha. Pretty sure that's Wisconsin. This is North Chicago up here. Crystal Lake. Look. Huge, huge chunk of Chicago. You know who's gonna be behind that? Their beloved Obama. He loves them. For 8 years as president, he made sure Chicago was safe. So does Rahm Emanuel. He loves Chicago. He makes sure you all are safe. Well, he takes your money and goes up and over with it to Israel. And Obama, he takes his chunk and he goes that way to the islands. So there you go, folks. Here is a map of Cook County. And they want to bring UN peacekeepers. And anyone who has half a brain can read between the lines and see what a war that would bring, because the UN are thugs and rapists. So as if Chicago citizens don't have enough criminals on their hands, they're about to get a lot more with the UN rapists and thugs and criminals. Okay, folks, I want you to see the warm, cuddly, friendly peacekeepers that Cook County wants to bring to your city, Chicago. Here you go. They always show the women when they want you to think they're friendly. And they show kids. What they don't show you is that they like to rape kids and traffic them. UN is huge in child trafficking and human sex slavery trafficking of women. Now you want that in Chicago? Well, you already got that in Chicago. Here you go. This is what they really mean by peacekeepers. UN. All for your good, of course. They're gonna bring in the Chinese, because that's basically what the UN is. The Chinese. And you'll notice that Boykin, Cook County Commissioner, he's registered as a foreign agent, can do service. He could be a lobbyist, working for lobbyists, or whatever. But he travels, and it means he's bought and paid for. He also works for a large law firm in Chicago. Or what's coming to Chicago, what they have in mind for Chicago. It won't be American, I can guarantee you that. It'll be Islam animals or Asians. Because let's not forget Chinagate and Hillary giving the sovereignty of our country over to China if we defaulted on our debts. And in 8 years, Obama made sure that we defaulted on our debts to China. So now China, in the background, but they're not telling the American people, believes they are the legal owners of America. And that is why they have been secretly buying up real estate. And if you look at the banks in your little towns, China owns most of them. HSBC, one of the biggest banking conglomerates in America, stands for Hong Kong Shanghai Bank of China. Wells Fargo is China. Bitcoin is China. I have been screaming about China and their secret conquering and takeover of America since 2008, and nobody listens. But you're about to get it in your face, but they're gonna hide it in the guise of the UN, bringing in peacekeeping forces. That's it. And we'll start in Chicago because the black on black crime is out of control. Anyway, just a heads up, folks.